Good day guys. So I just thought I'd do this video. I've just finished installing the TJM single compressor on my 2022 DMAX, ready for a trip to the Cape in a couple of weeks. I thought I'd do the video just because it was a little bit of a challenge, this one. I've done a few mods over the years, but I think this, I can safely say, has been the most challenging, not because it's difficult to install, but just in terms of access and options of where you can actually mount it are pretty limited. So if this can help anybody out, so I was looking on YouTube and a lot of the forums and that, it doesn't seem to be much info on mounting an onboard compressor to the 22 DMAX, as well as a lot of the companies out there that do the brackets don't seem to make one for this model either. There is a company that makes one for the ARB compressor, but not the TJM, and I didn't want to risk it because I'm not too sure whether they're compatible or not. I think the ARB compressor is probably a little bit of a different size with different mounting points, so I thought I'd take this route. So it's underneath the driver's side rear seat. I'm not going to go into the detail of all what comes in the box of the TJM compressor and the wiring harness, etc. There's plenty of other videos out there that will go into detail about that. But essentially it's not a difficult compressor to fit. It's literally mounting it, and then you've got 3 or 4 wires to connect. So what I did is, underneath the passenger side seat here, on the face of the panel, I drilled 4 holes to mount the compressor bracket. I drilled them from the inside. Now, one thing to bear in mind is the compressor from edge to edge is about 11 centimeters, and you've got about 12 centimeters in this compartment, so it's very tight, so you have to get your measurements accurate, but it does fit. I think with hindsight, if I were to do it again, if I could give anyone any advice, it would be to remove the seats, remove the carpet, and probably drill the holes from this side. It'd give you a lot more access, a lot less headache. It literally, messing around with it, took me 2 days on and off to just get the thing in position. As well as, I've mounted the switch and the outlet for the compressor, so I've done a remote coupling there. You know, when you've got to start grinding metal away to fit this switch, it would have been far easier with the carpets removed, and I think that would have sped up the job. So if I were to do it again, definitely a word of advice there. So once the bracket's in place, you've then got your 6 hex Allen keys, 4mm, either end of the compressor, which does present another challenge actually. So these ones at this end are relatively easy to get on, whereas these ones, because once the compressor's in situ, they are quite difficult to access. It can be done, but it does take a little bit of patience, to say the least. So once that's all in place, one thing I will mention as well, this hole. So there's already a hole in the seat frame here. So I used that just to mount this remote outlet. It's a little bit bigger than what the instructions say. I think the TJM instructions say it should be 30 to 32 mil, the hole. It's bigger than that, but it makes no odds. You can get the remote coupling in there, no problems. So then I've just gone with the braided hose from the remote coupling down to the compressor. Plenty of PTFE tape around there. And then with the, so you've got your main live on earth, which needs to go directly to the battery. I've mounted that. You've got a little tunnel, you can see in there. You've got a little tunnel that goes through to the driver's side compartment. So I've run the wires through there. I'll just go around to the other side and show you. So if we lift this compartment up here, and then I've just tucked the wires right in there, you can see, right the way along. And then there's a little outlet, which I'm not too sure if you're going to be able to see in the video, but you can hopefully just see there, just pops out the side of the seat. So it comes out just here, and then I've run the wires all the way down the kick seal, all the way along the front there, and then up into the footwell, out of the rubber grommet, which is just here, and straight to the battery. So there's the live wire there, there's the 40 amp MIDI fuse, and there's the earth wire there. So with this 40 amp MIDI fuse, I must admit I didn't really want to go into drilling additional holes into the vehicle just to fit this. So I used this existing mounting point, and I made the bracket out of a gas bottle clamp. So basically I just cut the clamp off and used the backing plate, and that kind of fitted on there quite nicely once I drilled a couple of holes in there. So I'm pretty happy with how that's turned out actually. And then we go back, so that's your live and your earth wire, and then you've got two more wires, which is one's your 10 amp or 15 amp ignition feed. So that's what gives you the power to your switch once the car is running. And you've got another one, it's optional really, but another one for illumination. So basically once you've got the car running, ignition on, the switch lights up. These ones, similarly, you've got a hole this side, the same as the other side, which I've run the two wires out of. You can just see them there. I piggybacked the illumination one off of the back of the one that goes to the ignition feed, so that will kill two birds with one stone then. So when the ignition comes on, that will light the switch up and give it the feed ready for when it gets activated. And similarly to the other side, I've run along the kick panel there, along the driver's side kick panel, and into the fuse box. I've just used the fuse tap into this one here. So it's the fourth one along from the bottom, which is labelled as the USB socket, and that is your ignition feed. It's a 10 amp. TJM recommend that you use a 15 amp switch circuit. I couldn't find a 15 amp switch circuit easily on the vehicle, and I know Isuzu are not very forward in giving away their wiring diagrams. So I've used this one, it's 10 amp. I just need to upgrade the fuse in that, because still got the 5 amp fuse in there that the wire tap came with, but I'll be upgrading that to a 10 amp as well. And that's it really. Tested it out, it all works. I'm happy with it now. Like I say, it was a challenge, but yeah. And then just in terms of the wiring under the seat, it's a little bit tricky as well. So most of it comes with a lot of excess wiring that you just really don't need, and I suppose that's if you're mounting the compressor in the engine bay or whatever, and you might need the extra length of wire. Maybe when I regain the will to live, I might chop that down a little bit and tidy it up, because you definitely don't need the amount of wiring that's there. I've cable tied it all into position to keep it away from the compressor, especially I'd say this bit here and this bit here, as well as the pipe. It's going to get very hot when it's activated. And then just now for temporarily, I've just used masking tape just to hold the wire in place to keep it away from the compressor. I don't like that idea. Masking tape is pretty flammable, so I don't really like it being around hot things and car electric, so I might look at getting some fire retardant tape to replace that with. But like I say, it's just a temporary measure at the minute. So yeah, there it is. So hopefully, I hope that this will help some of you out. If you're thinking about doing the install, it's a good location for it. Just one other thing there, you can see the relay. I just drilled a 8mm hole through there and put a M8 bolt in there just to hold the relay. So yeah, if this helps anyone out, happy days. I hope it does. If you subscribe to the channel, like I say, I'm going to the Cape York in a couple of weeks. and hopefully I'll be posting some more content. Try not to reproduce anything that's already out there. There's a lot of similar themed videos on YouTube, so try to do something a bit different and a bit interesting. So yeah, keep tuned, and hopefully I'll have some more content uploaded soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Like I say, any comments, any questions, drop me a message. I'm happy to help where I can. Thank you. See you next time.